All right, we'll tell you what's making headlines in the newspapers, and I'm starting today with the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder: madmen to starve, and madmen is in quote, to starve. Pantine threatens to send inmates home. Government's in 1 million Ghana cedis arrears since 2013. This is one story that we can't just look and let it go. I'm sharing a bit of it for you. It says that despite huge public outcry about the presence of mentally challenged persons on the streets of Accra, the situation may soon worsen. This is because the management of Pantine Psychiatric Hospital is threatening to send inmates home since the hospital is cash-strapped as a result of 1 million Ghana cedis arrears in government funding. And they were speaking to the Finder. The debts accrued because government's funding to the hospital has been in arrears since 2013, and when 2015, you can imagine how much they need. I just don't know if this madman in quotes headline is appropriate, but that's the details of the story. You can read a lot more in the Final newspaper. So, government to issue €1 billion Eurobond dollars by June ending. AGI goes high-tech with mobile app. Hosman Shoes takes a leap towards world-class designs. And freedom of worship in schools, Muslim group were told blasts GES, the Ghana Education Service. So these are the headlines on the front page of the Finder newspaper. Interested in any of these stories, please, you can grab and read details.
Front page of the Daily Graphic has the story: IMF speaks, asks Ghana to strictly implement measures for bailout. We also have moves to give legal backing to codes of conduct for political appointees, public officials. And that story is on page 16. And yesterday we discussed that extensively on AM Talk. And police investigate kidnapping, sexual assault of radio presenter. Back page, we can use local materials to save costs. BRRI. We're talking about the Building and Road Research Institute of the CSIR. Bad weather affects flights to Tamale. That was yesterday. On Tuesday, we don't know whether the situation is still prevailing up to this morning.
Okay, a subject that is well known. Front page, the Ghanaian Times newspaper: 10,000 driving licenses abandoned. Applicants fail to collect them at DVLA. And when you go there, indeed you see, look at the front page of the paper. This is just what you see when you go to the office, the collection point where people have to take their driver's license. But this is it. A few years back, I remember you didn't even have to go to the DVLA for your license, because you would get a call that would ask, do you want us to deliver or you want to pick it up? If you want it delivered, they would tell you a dispatch would bring it and charge you a certain fee. And that's how I got, my first renewal, my license. And I don't know why they wouldn't have creative moves like that, but you expect people to drive all the way from wherever they are to the DVLA office at 37 to come for their license. Then you will have the situation, the license is sitting down there, and you think, oh, because they need it, they must come for it. I think the DVLA should have a lot more creative ways of doing this. Don't tell us the problem, fix it. You have a duty. Government to set up gold refinery. That's another headline on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. And man jailed 5 years for threatening girlfriend. I'll tell you what this man did. This is on page 3 in the Times. Where is the story? Okay. So, Kwamina Gamo is a jealous boyfriend who threatened to shoot his girlfriend for dancing with another man at an outdooring. And he's been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment by an Accra Circuit Court. And I hope that teaches you something. He didn't do it all, but he threatened to kill the girl. For what? For dancing with somebody else? Amazing. Okay, I don't know if he deserves the 5 years, but he got it. Okay, ECG not for sale. We had the president say that in the AM News. Back page of the Ghanaian Times: government to set up gold refinery. That story in detail here. And Rich Hospital nurses on strike. Also, Ghana Water Company Limited disconnects BA, that's the Bno Ahafo Regional Coordinating Council for owing 19,210.74. That's a lot of money, but they deserve the disconnection. But why should Ghana Water wait for people to owe, you know, this much before they go on a disconnection exercise? I mean, how do you pay this? How do you pay this? But if it was residential, I mean, if it was homes, if it was individuals owing, sometimes you owe like 50 Ghana cedis or 100 Ghana cedis and they come and disconnect you.
Yes.
So when you hear stories of, you know, this is like close to 20,000, you don't sympathize with a Ghana Water Company. You rather feel that they haven't been doing their duty. But this story is definitely of interest. The one that says that nurses at the Ridge Hospital in Accra yesterday declared an indefinite strike following the non-payment of their match salary by the Controller and Accountant General's Department. So in all, it's 556 nurses at the hospital, and they are protesting what they described as unfair and discriminatory treatments by the Controller Accountant General's Department's omission of paying their match salary, whilst all other medical staffs at the hospital received their salary. How did this happen?
We'll see on the front page of the Daily Guide, 5 gang rape, radio girl, BNI arrest, Legon SRCIT specialist Zita mad over essay posting. Those are the stories we have on the front page.
Quickly to the Chronicle newspaper front page, beasts, and as in quotes, gang rape radio presenter. Queen mother banishes girl 13 for refusing to undergo female genital mutilation. That story center spread in the newspaper. Where is it? Okay, I'll look for it later, but let me do this. Other headlines: UCC diploma for sale. I wanted to say, is that new? But I had to watch it, so I didn't say it, even though you had it. Where's that story? Okay, so it says that teachers in the Nkwanta districts in the Volta region have expressed disgust over the alleged issuance of University of Cape Coast Diploma Certificate in Education to senior high school dropouts by the Deputy Director in charge of Finance and Administration at the district office. They therefore want the Economic and Organized Crime Office to, as a matter of urgency, conduct investigation into the claim and prosecute those found culpable. Roland, you remember recently, not too long ago, we talked about these American teachers and heads of institutions who were involved in this cheating exercise in the States. Well, they received from between 1 year to 7 year sentence for that.
But
we're talking about...
But there's also been the criticism that the sentences were too high, especially for the one who got the 7 years. Well,
but it also says that the judge was really angry because, you know, you put your children in school for them to come out with some kind of knowledge, and they come out with just the certificate because some teachers want to be promoted. You know, because if the kids pass, then it means that the teachers are doing their work, and they get their promotions and they get all that. But in Ghana, we're talking about this is also very serious. It will be on the same scale, if not higher, because people who don't study at all, sometimes they don't even, they enroll, they pay the fees, but you don't physically see them. But in the end, they get the certificates. And surprisingly, some of them would even get the first class. It's as if we're selling our diplomas and our degrees. It's really sad, and people should be punished severely for this. I hope that IOCO comes to the aid of these persons who are calling on them to do some proper investigations. We want to see prosecutions as well.
Front page of the New Statesman. Mahama has no say. Appointment of new EC boss. And then we have other stories that Makoto for no way for sycophantic mediocre characters in MPP government. Group demands details of 10% pay cut for Mahama and Co. and MPP parliamentary primaries, long service versus electability. On the back page, we have Ayu's championship dreams destroyed. Nyantechi still in shock at CAF's AFCON 2017 decision, and Kenya runner Wilson Kepsang anger at agent suspensions.
You're through?
I am through.
All right, I've got the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Front page of the Dispatch, NPP gurus angry over false documents. Also, First Lady donates to orphanages. Bolare hosts Nana Akufo-Addo on Star FM. Okay. And then back page. Okay, it's just a continuation of some more stories on the front page. That's it for the paper. Roland.
Front page of the Informer, we have Philip Addison attacks Satugu by others. We have Cabinet Secretariat makes progress. Leads crusade against removal of ghost names from government payroll. Enhances coordination among officers at the presidency and promises additional efforts to track implementation of executive decisions. Back page, we have Free Zones Board calls for collaboration to speed up investments.
You're through?
I am through.
All right, let me do okay, last part while we've got the graphic sports. That will lead us into sports. But the Today newspaper is what I have front page. PPP youth leaders petition NACOB. Goethe Institute hosts Kane Prize in Ghana, and Dr. Mahama should be ashamed. You might want to read the details of this particular one in the Today newspaper. And that will be it. No. Roland has got a very last paper.
We have the last paper. The graphic sports has on the front page, Azuma tips Pacquiao to beat Mayweather over 12 rounds, and Barca warned against PSG threat. We have Robin Ngang swerves Kotoko and GFA to probe Galka over Rangers money. On the back page are the continuation of those stories.
Okay, so it's a wrap with the newspapers. Still ahead, though, on my banner, osteoporosis is a common problem that causes bones to become abnormally thin, weak, and easily fractured. Women are said to be at a higher risk of this condition after menopause. We'll talk a lot more on my banner. If you've got questions ahead of the discussion, though, just go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Joy News on TV. We'll bring you sports right after this. Stay with us. You're watching the AM show.
We'll be right back.